Albert.College is an historical landmark in the Quinte region. It has been boarding both local and international students since it first opened its doors in 1857. We caught up with Keith Stansfield, Albert.College's head of school, to find out more about the college itself and how he came to be the head of school.
My name is Keith Stansfield. I'm head of school, Albert.College, and I'm in my 7th year here. I've been in independent schools for close to 30 years, I suppose. I started off at an independent school, boarding day school in Manitoba. I was in Winnipeg for 12 years. I then spent 8 years at Strathcona Tweezer School out in Calgary. And then from there, this position became available and I applied for it.
Keith tells us a bit about the school's rich history in the area.
Albert.College, founded in 1857 by Methodists, actually. It started out as a Methodist seminary, so it was called the Belleville Seminary. Over its history, we're certainly the oldest coeducational boarding school in Canada. So we've been boarding right since 1857. So really, if you think about the idea of Methodists 150 years ago having a co-ed school, it was kind of progressive, I think, for the day. This building is actually the new Albert.College. This building was completed in 1926. The original school was up on basically at the intersection of College and Park, and I think part of the gymnasium at College Hill United Church is still the original building. But that building burnt in 1919, and this one was started in 23.
He sheds some light on the junior school and Albert's many boarders.
Our junior school is all day students up to grade 6, so right from pre-kindergarten now all the way up to grade 6 would all be day students. They could come as far as from the county or from Kingston, but they would all be day students. Starting in grade 7, we do have boarders coming in, but really it's sort of an inverse pyramid. So we have not as many boarders, 7, 8, 9, and the number of boarders grows a great deal as you go into 10, 11, and 12. So we would have about half of the middle senior school would be boarders, and of those I'd say probably 80% would be international.
Keith fills us in on just how long Albert.College has been accepting international students.
The school has always had international students, but really the makeup has changed. I mean, there was a time when majority of the students would actually be children of expat families. So it would be Canadians who were working in Peru or Chile and would send their children to school here. It was also a school that many United Church ministers would send their children to because there's a relationship obviously with the United Church. We don't have an official relationship with the church, haven't had since 1992, but at that time it was certainly a location for children of church ministers. But certainly over the years, the number of students coming from other countries of different nationalities, that has really, I think, grown a great deal probably over the last 30 years.
Mr. Stansfield tells us what draws families and students to enroll at the college.
I think the biggest draw is its size. I mean, we are a small school. It's very personal. Everybody knows everybody. You get to know not only the students, but you know their parents, you know their siblings. The teachers that are their teachers in the classroom are also their coaches. They're also helping them out in study and the residents. So everyone really gets to know each other very well. So most of our students probably come by word of mouth. So we'll have a student who will come from Colombia, for example, and then they'll tell their cousins, and their cousins will come, and so on. So we actually have some families that could be third generation that are coming from Mexico or from wherever.
We asked Keith if he could recall the moment that has made him the proudest to be the head of school in regards to the international students that come to Albert.
It'd be really hard to choose one student because you get so many different stories and they're all interesting. I know that our admissions team was just down in Barbados and had put together a profile actually of a student who had come here. Wonderful family, they've been very supportive of the school. Have had all three children came here, and one girl that had come in and had learning difficulties, had struggled, had found it very difficult to find her place in school in Barbados, and came here and flourished. Marks went up every year, became a prefect at the school, went on to university, graduated, and is now doing work with early year students. I mean, really just a neat story. She's not a CEO anywhere, but she's loves what she does, and she's very successful at it, and I don't know that would have been possible had she not had this experience.
Rick Anderson is the principal of Albert.College's junior school.
My name is Rick Anderson. I'm principal of the junior school at Albert.College. The junior school extends from pre-kindergarten to grade 6. So children from age 3 to age 12 are the people I spend my day with.
He tells us how the junior school came to be.
After an enthusiastic fundraising campaign in the early 2000s, we were able to build this beautiful building which opened its doors in September 2003. So we're just nicely in the school for 8 years, coming up to a decade. It's a state-of-the-art building with a full gymnasium and fully networked to support our technology learning. In addition, it is on the main campus, so it's cozied up with the mothership, as it were, and our students have the use of the amenities in the main school as well as their own junior school.
Mr. Anderson says that even though the majority of the population of the junior school is local students, they do have some international students as well.
Since most of our junior school students tend to be drawn from the local community and farther afield, as far away as Kingston, for example, and into Prince Edward County, we have quite a homogeneous community in the junior school, but every year that is growing. And for example, this year we have more and more international families who pass through the Belleville area for a number of years in association with their work. And so it would not be uncommon for you in the junior school to hear more than English and French spoken. We have families from Turkey, India, Japan, Korea, Germany, and that's just off the top of my head. So we do, in time, have more and more of that international flavor. The students at the junior school frequent the senior school often, and so they are very much involved in the international spirit of the school in terms of their participation in whole school events. In addition, our grades 5s and 6s spend about 30% of their academic cycle in the senior school, where they're constantly associating with friends and peers that come from all parts of the world. At last count, probably close to 30 countries represented in the school.
Rick breaks down the day of a typical junior school student.
Our comprehensive program in the elementary ages extends from age 3 to about 12, so pre-kindergarten to grade 6. These children are programmed for a full academic week. Our classes start at 8:30 in the morning and are dismissed at 3:30, so it's quite a long day, but it's a productive day. And within that day, children receive specialized instruction in French as a second language, beginning in the pre-kindergarten years at age 3, and as well music from a music specialist, both choral music and instrumental music. Something that our children love and our parents appreciate even more is the hot lunch that the school provides. So as you might imagine, being a young parent making those lunches, our students every day gather in the grade hall and eat with their teachers and friends, and the meal is prepared for them. So it's very much a community building experience for those children.
Finally, he says that with increases in international student enrollment at Albert.College, the school tries to take a proactive approach to education.
With the increasing international flavor of our junior school, we have many opportunities for the children to learn about other cultures and develop friendships that are long-lasting with children from other countries. It's not uncommon, for example, for these same children to go on holiday with some of the school families, as well as spend time in their homes. And every year we have an international dinner at the end of the school year, which is a culminating event which incorporates all of the cultures of the school, very much longed for and enjoyed by parents and students, and has become rather a hallmark culminating activity in the junior school every June.
Albert.College prides itself on its top-of-the-line and state-of-the-art education for all. We sat down with 4 of the students at the college to find out what their impression of the school is.
think it's amazing because I saw many things I had never seen in my life. I'm half Colombian and half Japanese, so I thought that I have seen many cultures, I have learned many things, but I actually, when I came here, I saw and I learned many things. Because we have to live with many cultures. We have to respect the difference that we have to each other, because it's more international. Also the English, we have to speak the entire time English, and also the language that we have, the native language, we can talk. It's really nice because my Japanese have improved, and also my Spanish and my English. I think it's a really good environment.
Tomohiko is from Colombia. It's his first year at Albert.College, and he took part in the school's food drive, heading up the project.
We did a food drive for people that they have the opportunity or the sources to eat. So with a lot of people at school, also a lot of social community help to do a food drive. We collected amount of food. In Halloween, we collected just the borders. We collected almost 100, and with the other, the day student, we collected 600 non-perishable food for people in need. I love those kind of events. That's why I'm in the We Day and everything. And helping people, I loved it. I went to the chapel to make an announcement, and at the end I was just talking about how we have to change the world. I was really nervous, but it was I love to do those kind of things because I feel that I can change the world. And the school gives you that opportunity that you can make these small changes.
Ashley's from Hong Kong and says she came to the school to get a better education, just like her father did.
My dad really thought I should come to Canada so I could probably get a better university here. And so he was an alumni, so he really wanted me to come here because his experience here was also really great.
She says the school provides ways for international and really all students to feel welcome.
In the beginning of the year when we do camp, it's a great way to know everybody. Besides knowing which grade they're in, and you know the teachers as your friends in the beginning. So once you get into school, everyone's friends basically. So you don't have that student and teacher that distance between you guys.
Ashley tells us that Albert provides many options for students so they can find themselves.
They provide you for there are a variety of many sports and arts. Back in Hong Kong, I would never have done participated in choir, which now I am part of, and I really love it. And people don't pressure you to do anything in particular, and you get the freedom to choose what you want to do.
Sven is from Germany, and he says adjusting was a little difficult at first.
I had a lot of English class, but I never studied for English, so I nearly failed English and I wasn't pretty good, but it's getting better.
He says that it is beneficial to be enrolled in such a small school.
The school is so small, so you know everybody in school. You're friends with nearly everybody, not everybody, but most of the persons are your friends. You know the teachers as well, and you can always go to a teacher and he would have time for you to help you with something. It's not only a quarter of the school. The teachers have never time for you to help you, so it's more familiar.
Manal is another student at Albert.College, and she says being a part of the school provides some unique opportunities.
I met so many different kinds of people, and people who I never thought I'd be able to meet, people from Germany, people from Hong Kong, even being from Mississauga, I never got to experience so many different cultures, so it's really neat.
She says the school has changed her more than she even knew.
I actually didn't realize how much I've changed until I started talking to friends from my old school, and they noticed a huge change. Because when you're here every day, you don't notice things that have changed with you, but they've said, I feel so much more confident now. I can sing in front of the school and not even get nervous. And I'm more well-rounded. I'm participating in athletics, arts, academics, active citizenship. So I find that's a huge difference, and it's going to help me in every part of life.
The international students tell us the differences they see between Canada and their homelands, from the terrain itself to the people living here.
It's a lot wider. There are not a lot of persons living. In Germany, we have a lot of persons on a small ground, and you have to travel a lot far to meet persons, and they're completely, how they live, it's completely different. In Germany, it's, you don't drive a car a lot, you ride a lot your bike and use the bus or the underground, and here you just take your car, and all the young persons 16 years old take a car and drive anywhere they want.
Canada is so much different because back in Hong Kong, everywhere we go there will be like high-rise buildings, like everywhere. But here, there's mainly like grass and like houses, which is so much different. And also, yeah, about the cars, like in Hong Kong, we would always get to places by using like the MTR, the train, or buses and stuff. And here it's like always cars, so without your car, you have to like take the bus, which comes like every 30 minutes, which is kind of not good for our students.
In Colombia, if you're different, you're gonna be like criticized. Like a lot of times we're really conservative. But in Canada, people are really open. They're not gonna criticize you. They're gonna understand you. I think it's a really cultural difference that we have in Colombia and Canada. And also, for example, in Japan, people actually like don't care about like the others. But here, even if you're different, you're gonna be part of the community. And I think it's really good.
The panel tells us what their plans are for the future, both career and education-wise.
I want to study business, and probably I'm going to Switzerland, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, I came here so I could actually go to a university here in Canada, probably do something related with science, I guess.
I didn't know what to do until I came here, and I realized that I want to study like veterinarian or architecture. It's completely different, I know, but I love like animals and everything. But I realized it here because I took biology and physics, and like first of all I was not that good at it, but like then I realized that I like it and I love animals and everything. And I want to study at Tokyo University.
I want to go to Queen's University or Western. Those are my top two choices. And I want to study science. Hopefully in the future I want to do something with kids, so maybe pediatrician or like a child psychologist.
Finally, Manal takes a minute to thank the instructors at Albert.College.
I want to say thank you because there's so many things that they've taught me. Mr. Prophet, he's my chemistry and physics teacher. If it weren't for him, I probably still wouldn't be in this course because at the beginning it was really difficult for me. I was having so much trouble, but now I can actually understand it, and once you understand something, it's so much easier to do it. And I'd like to say thank you to him and thank you to all my teachers for helping me be a more confident person and helping me in everything.
Remembering is difficult, but even more difficult if you have Alzheimer's disease, a disease that affects the brain, erases memory, and eventually takes life. The Alzheimer's Society is fighting back. It provides support, information, and funds research into finding the cause and a cure. Until then, remember this.
The rich history and tight-knit community at the college is not the only draw. Melanie Barrett has been the school's marketing and communications coordinator for the past 4 years, and she says she does everything she can.
Marketing and communications, I'm kind of a one-man show, but I kind of work a little bit with admissions and development, do alumni events and fundraising and recruiting, a little bit of everything really.
She says she interacts with the students on a daily basis.
Probably every day I have some sort of role that I play with the students. Once in a while I'll go in and speak to a class. Other times, you know, we have a photographer or a camera crew into the school, and I kind of facilitate all that with the students. So, but I mean, my office is right in the main building, so I see them in the morning, I see them at lunch, and I see them after school, out on the sports field, in school plays, things like that.
Melanie tells us it's those interactions that really make her thankful to work for the college.
The kids really make everything worthwhile. They're the reason that I get up and come to work every day. You know, they come into the school as one person in grade 7 or grade 8 or sometimes even grade 11, and they leave as a totally different person. They're more confident, they're more prepared, they have all these different skills that they've learned while they were here. They have goals and dreams, and they know what they want to do and when they want to do it and where they're going to go to university and all of that kind of stuff. So just kind of seeing that transition when they come in and when they graduate is really, really great.
She says that having international students at the college is a huge benefit.
Having international students at the school is really a benefit for all of us. In the small little town of Belleville, it's great to see the different cultures. Meeting with the kids, you know, you learn a little bit about their background and where they're from, the customs that they have in their country and the languages that they speak. It's really great to see them with Canadian holidays when we have Christmas here and kind of our traditions versus theirs. Halloween is always a very popular event around here with the international students. They don't really know what Halloween's all about. They've never been trick-or-treating before, that sort of thing. So we always try to make a big deal out of all those Canadian events. We try to take them out of Belleville as well. They go to Toronto, they go to Kingston, they go to Ottawa, see the Parliament buildings, go skiing, that sort of thing. So
Melanie tells us more about the students we sat down with.
most of the students that you interviewed are first-year students, so they just started here with us in September. So brand new faces, a lot of them, their English really improves as they go through, but just kind of getting their feet wet in terms of everything. We have here what we call Albert's 5 A's, which are academics, athletics, arts, active citizenship, and adventure. So the kids really get a broad range of what life is really like outside of academics. They act in a play, they're singing in front of their entire student body, and when they started here, you know, they were sort of shy and timid and quiet, and now they've got this presence and this, you know, they've discovered who they are and what they're capable of.
Melanie explains that Albert.College offers a couple of programs to international students to help immerse them into speaking, reading, and writing English.
We have a special program for international students here to come in and learn English. One is called ESL, English Second Language, and that's where students come in and they have specific classes where they learn the language and learn how to speak English, how to write English. They do participate in other classes as well, music and art, that sort of thing. But they really get that English under their belt before they start taking a grade 12 English class or something like that. And then another program that we offer that's unique is called the EFY program, and it's called English Foundation year. And that is where an international student with little or no English skills will come to the school in September, and they'll spend their first year here with us just honing in on those English skills so that they really have a good idea of the language before they start participating in academic classes.
Finally, she fills us in on what the school does to help the students bond.
Every year in September, the whole senior school goes to orientation camp in Algonquin Park, and it's always a great event where lots of friendships are made and memories are made. It's a really relaxing environment where students get to know each other and they get to know the faculty really well in a relaxed and comfortable environment. So that's really where it all starts. The kids get to know each other and make that foundation, and it leads into friendships that last a lifetime.
The school's heartbeat, however, resides in its teaching staff, each being incredibly knowledgeable and extremely approachable. We met up with Rachel Holland, a senior school instructor, and Paul Goosey, the curriculum leader for mathematics and computer studies. We asked them what they enjoyed most about teaching at the college, and to our surprise, they had very similar answers.
The thing that I enjoy most about teaching here at Albert.College is the opportunity to work in an environment that really places a strong emphasis on academics, but also places a strong emphasis on community. Due to our small class sizes, I have the opportunity to get to know my students really well, and that extends to outside of the classroom.
My favorite part, I think, is probably just the size and the culture of the school. It's a very close-knit community, and as a teacher, I actually know who all the students are, so it's just nice to have that feeling in this environment. And I get to see students in different ways, like in the classroom, on the sports field, at school events.
Rachel has been with the school for 4 years and says instructing the international students can be educational even for her.
It makes for a really interesting teaching experience because I find that they bring such a cultural richness to the classroom. They bring so many interesting ideas and perspectives, and I find that it's almost educational for me because I learn so much from them.
As a math instructor, Paul does have the benefit of working more with numbers. But in his 14 years' experience, he tells us that there can still be some struggles when teaching international students.
Sometimes there's language difficulties, but that's usually early on. The only challenge that comes out is there's often students coming from very different backgrounds, so you have to find out, what topics they've learned in the past and what order and what the emphasis has been on. So that's really the only challenge, I would say, is because of their varied backgrounds. You have to find out where their strengths are and what maybe they haven't spent enough time on.
Rachel says the international students seem to adapt quickly to Albert.College.
I find that it only takes the students a week or so to really get comfortable in the classroom environment because we really place a lot of emphasis on inclusivity and making sure that our students feel comfortable in that environment. So we use different strategies to really make them feel at home here. So within the first week or so, I would say they feel really comfortable.
But she is also quick to state there is extra help for those students in need.
We have extra help periods every Monday and Wednesday for 45 minutes, so that gives our students an opportunity to come and talk to the teachers and get that extra help with their English language skills. We also have an EFY program, which is really helpful for those students who are coming in and English is brand new to them. And during study hall, we actually have teachers who are on duty and residential staff members who are always there to help those students.
Mr. Guzzi says that he notices students come to the school with one goal in mind, and more often than not, leave with a totally different one.
Often people will come here and they'll have a certain expectation that maybe the emphasis is on doing well academically, and one of the emphasis really is on trying to be more well-rounded. So we have a great emphasis on making sure people are involved in sports and an arts program, and whether it's music or drama or just public speaking, let's say, for example. So lots of times students will come in and they don't really realize that they're strong in a certain area, and they discover parts of themselves that they didn't realize that they had.
Finally, they tell us their proudest teaching moments at Albert.College to date.
My proudest moment teaching was a student actually from Bermuda a few years ago. She came to us and I had the opportunity to teach her every year, and she started out not so sure of her career path and what she wanted to do, and by the end she was graduating as an Ontario Scholar with a very clear direction as to where she was going, and now she's actually at college doing very well.
Just happened last year, actually. I was at our gala and I met an alumni that I taught a decade ago. And I was in a conversation and he remembered me helping him out in my physics class and how, it made a difference. And it's impressive that you remember something 10 years later. And I didn't really realize the impact that maybe I had on him or the school had on him. And it was just nice to hear that feedback. So that's one of probably lots of moments, but yeah, that was one that stands out.
Now that we've seen some of the college and met some of its staff and students, we hope you have a better understanding of the teaching and boarding of international students right here at Albert.College. The school remains the oldest co-educational boarding and day school in Canada and will continue to strive to be the best as well.